Hi, Amica. Okay, so just making a video for you. I've done this for a few of the girls, Kaylee, Naya, a couple others, basically just analyzing some of their performance and just kind of giving them some tips here. Okay. Um, Realize too that, look, easier said than done, right? You're under pressure. You could be exhausted at that point because you were running and doing something. So the decision that you make is maybe not the ideal one, okay? And that's fine. No, there's no such thing as a perfect player, okay? So I'm just going to try to, what I've basically done is I've got it on your detected moments thing, and we'll just kind of go through it and see if there's anything significant in there that I can touch on, okay? Because really anything of significance here, but you're in the play, but so, all right, this one here I do see, I know you're in, so there you are. So we've got the spotlight thing on you right now. Okay, it's a good idea there, right? Good idea. Maybe just a little bit too much on the pass, but good idea. And yeah, obviously that's Evelyn there. She needs to be a little bit better at anticipating that. But when you have those situations and you can play those balls through, by all means do so, especially when you're that close. Um, Also to think about, if is there an opportunity where you can just continue to move. If these defenders are continuing to track back and you don't have maybe pressure on you, then continue to carry the ball forward and have that shot. Okay. So there's you there. Good. So there's an instance there of where I want you to get a touch on the ball. Okay. So you're kind of, I'll just go back. So you're just letting it settle rather than getting in there and getting a touch. Okay. And all you needed was maybe one touch here. I believe that's Izzy. Right, yeah, I think that's Izzy right there. One touch to Izzy. Just get control of it. Instead, now we're fighting with that player for the ball. Okay, so now skip to the next moment here. And you're just tracking back. Great. So nothing much on that one. There you are here. So again, good positioning there, and I saw you didn't jump in, so that's good on that one. Yeah, that was tough. She was on you right away. Let's just kind of go back and see if we can see. Yeah, she did kind of bump you there and kind of threw you off balance, so I don't think you could have done too much on that one. All right, you're over here. So at that point there, I am gonna say to you, you're playing in the center, right? You're not on the wing in that position. Don't come that far, right? It don't need you to be that close, right? If anything, we're looking for to exploit the space that was there. So let's go back 5 seconds. Yeah, you should be dropped back into this area here. Okay. All right. So there you are there. Yeah, so not much you could have done in that. Okay, so it's detected you here. Yeah. So again, you get up there, you close the space, right? That's all you can really do. And if they pop the ball over you, nothing much you can do, right? You were actually in a very good position here, and that was a great shot. So fantastic on that one. Yeah. So these ones here, again, I know it's tough. So let's just go back. I think it's just skipped ahead. Sorry. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go back to the one I was just talking about here. All right. So these ones here, right? So it's good. This is what I want. Okay, when we lose possession, I want you guys dropping back in there. Um, However, one of you should be playing still a little bit higher. Okay, so maybe we can set something up, and I'll work with the center mids. Like Cassie's back this week, so this is something that we've kind of been trying to do differently. Um, but I'm thinking we're giving too much space up in this middle here by doing this. If it's a keeper that's just doing a goal kick and they're going to kick it out, I don't think we need to be worried about being drop back like this. If the keeper's actually saved it and doing a drop kick, then we can be side by side. I'd rather have one player in this area to be able to get there because right now, I mean, look, the ball popped over her and just it went off your arm, whatever, not a big deal there. Okay. But yeah, we'll work on that. I'll work on that with you guys this week. So here you can just, I would just say here, just give this back, is start dropping back, right? If that girl has possession, start dropping back in that space. That's where they're looking to play through, and then that way you can come back and help if you need to. All right, you're over here again. I don't want you playing so close to the sidelines. Like when we're on football fields like this is a good guideline, is to be close to the numbers. When you start to get to this area here, so basically this blue line, for example, if you're out in here, then there's this space is very vulnerable to be attacked, right? About balls to be passed into. Okay. So what I'm looking for the center mids to do is, close to the numbers. You got to come in here, not so bad, but any closer than that to the sidelines, and we've got a bit of a problem because we're leaving space. And again, that's when we do not have possession, when they're doing throw-ins, when they have, a player on the wing here. I know one of the questions that Natalia used to ask is, what do I do if the player's on the wing here and the right mid, for example, or whoever it is, left mid, is not able to get to that player, and do I come there? So in that situation, it would be you would need to have the communication to say the mid who's coming back to go and drop behind and take your position in here. Okay, so if you're following them down and then you go out to the sideline, then at least there's coverage, right? If they don't, then the best thing you can do is just continue to run down this way and don't go directly out there. Just continue to run straight down. They'll start to cut inside because they'll see that space. So they'll eventually cut inside and you should be able to meet them there. So if you leave that space before you have any coverage, then they're just going to pass that ball in behind you and then someone runs onto it. Okay. Hopefully there's an example of that. This is just a corner here, I believe. We're just clearing it up. Okay. So nothing there. All right, there you are there. Again, so you're running near the numbers, which is fine. Start dropping back into the space, right? Start getting back there sooner. Okay. Good. And yeah, good and good idea, right? Again, Kaylee should have been ready for that. All right. It just kind of bobbled on her. So good idea. Okay. No, so good. Like positioning wise. What I would like to see though is again to keep coming there and become more central if you can. So you're out here, right? Now I know there is a point though where you do go on the right side. So well, you do go on the wing, but I'm just trying to remember because I don't think that's you there. Yeah, I think it was detecting Izzy. So that wasn't you being out of position. That was just Izzy. That's just a corner. We'll skip that. And good pass. Yeah. Unfortunately, Evelyn just wasn't able to do anything with it. But I like what you did there. I like the pass. I like the run that you made. So so this is where I got really frustrated, and this is not just with you, but with everybody, because we're seeing here everybody's just kind of standing there as if like, well, someone else is going to do the job. So let's just let it get to this one again. So watch when the ball comes in here. All right. Everybody just kind of watches it. And now look, I see walking. Everybody's walking away from where the ball is. Right. We should be like, we're just kind of standing there hoping that the ball pops out to us from one of the defenders. We need to get in, get behind, take away any passing options that may be on the side. We can't just stand there and watch. Right. We'll give them an easy goal. Yeah. So nothing really on this play. It doesn't look like. Where are you? So you're here. So again, that is where my concern is there. If you're too far, all right. If Izzy's already dealing with that player, I'd rather you just drop diagonal back into the space. Okay, so that's just a positioning thing there. So just kind of have that awareness, right? If the mid is already dealing with that player, don't go in there, right? Don't get closer to them. If anything, be 15 yards back a bit diagonal, and then you're fine. Okay, doesn't look like anything really happened there. Same thing here, nothing on this play. But again, good pushing out. Like you're doing great getting out of that end, right? It's a lot of work for what we're asking for you guys. Again, so positioning wise, see where the numbers are, see where you are on that one. Okay. I don't need you to be there, right? I need you to be in here. Okay. Closer to the numbers. I think right now on this one, now Natalia is out there, so she's covering that space, which is great. But again, Izzy's already there. They're just going to throw it over your head, right? So if there's no player making a run down there or anything like that, that Izzy would have to track after, then you're fine. Just stay inside, right? Stay inside, stay back. Let them have the space out here, okay? Let them be able to pass it back, right? We can't cover everything, but we need to cover this middle area, all right? So prioritize that over trying to, oh, I got to mark somebody over here, or, well, Izzy's got that girl, so I'm going to take this other one. No, be back in the space here. Again, use the numbers kind of as a reference if we're on a football field. But if we're not, then again, we'll work on that distance. Okay. Yeah. So that was Natalia kind of jumped in, but really well done there for you to kind of keep coming back, win the ball, and then make a pass back to Sam, right? And look what it's turned into. So actually, that was an opportunity there where Evelyn goes forward. I don't know if she gets a shot or not, but still, you tracking back after Natalia jumped in, right? You track back, you won that ball, you made that pass, and then we're back down the line. So well done. Okay, so this is actually a pretty significant moment. And so here's the thing. Two things can be true at the same time. So I just turned the sound on here. So hopefully when in this recording, you'll be able to hear it. I'm just going to go back. Okay, so what happens here? So now you're actually playing left wing. All right, so that's this transition has now happened. Okay, so the ball is actually in a space where you should be winning it. Okay. Natalia, though, on this one, started to call for it. Okay. And as she's running from here, all right, she's called for it and she's coming towards it. Now, good for her, right? For calling for the ball in the air and everything else. Understand that what she's basically done is she saw the ball go in the air, she's looking up at it. So she doesn't know that you're actually there, right? What was needed there was communication from you that you were getting it to stop her from coming in. Okay. So again, she did good things. True, right? We need her to be vocal. Second thing, I need her to win more balls in the middle, right? She needs to get better with that. But this was your ball to win. You were already there, right? This was your ball to win. You did get there. However, not communicating to Natalia caused her to continue to go in because obviously she's not looking down. So again, not perfect on her part, but not perfect on you. and then they're off, right? Again, you did a really good job on the wing. Well, nothing happened here other than them fouling.
That's fine, Lauren. That's good.
So on that one there, okay, you're already running in.
That's fine,
You're not
Lauren.
really
That's
seeing the
good.
ball. All right. So I need you to maybe, especially when they're out
Fine,
this
Lauren. That's
far,
good.
is stay out a bit wide and almost run side on so you can see where the ball's coming in. So even if it is going to go over, you're going to need to be able to see it. All right. And you kind of just ran straight to the goal and turned your back. So try to run side on, maybe be a little bit wider out when the ball is being kicked in from that distance, right? Because if it's being kicked in from that distance and it does get over that, then again, it's going to be a slow moving ball and you'll be able to make that adjustment when it comes in. All right. But you need to be able to see it. Unfortunately, that ball didn't come in very well. Okay, nothing really going on there. So touches inside the field. This is where a lot of the mids are having issues, like so the outside mids in particular. So on that one, your first touch should be out here. Like look at this space, right? So your first touch should be coming out into space. And the way that you'll know that you'll have space is because you would be checking your shoulders. Okay, always visible. Whether we have possession or not, always knowing. Okay. Instead, the touch goes inside, and of course, you've just played it back into a pile of people, all right, when you would have had space to run down the line, all right? So when we're in our own defensive end, try to avoid taking touches inside, all right? Try to take the touches outside and, again, be more aware of your space, right? Be looking. So on these ones here, so let me just go back to that last one. Okay, so that's a touch inside. So this next moment here, that's completely different. You got to run back, right? You need to, and as a mid, okay, this is where it's a lot of work on the outside as well, is you have to start running back. So what I've asked our outside mids to do, especially when the ball goes to the other side of the field, okay, is to almost be running back and to help the defense, almost like join the defenders here. The reason being is because what's happening, or what's happened in the past, anyways, is we've had situations where a player has kind of run on the outside and the ball's gone over the defender, right? So if you run back into here, that's an extra player that can help deal with that ball and get that out. Okay. You're also another voice for, like, so this is Denise here, another voice for Denise to let her know that there's a player so she's aware. Okay. You got to come back, right? Don't watch the play. So again, that's something where I've talked to you about going into the middle, right? It's look at the pile of people that are in there, right? So it's a 50-50 chance that we're going to win or lose the ball. All right. And we're basically at half. So again, we don't want to really take those kind of risks when we don't have that space. Okay. So let me just see if I can go back here 5 seconds. Again, this is a turn. Look at the space that's right here, right? This is a little, tap back inside, right? With your instep, right? Tap back into this space and off we go. Okay. Instead, we're kind of just kicking it in the middle. And, even if that ball was a pass along the ground to Natalia, I don't think she's really going to get that. Okay. Well, she's not going to go anywhere anyways, most likely. And it's just a corner kick. Where are you here? Yeah, so start coming back now. This is where, so I want my outside mid. So this is if you're playing on the outside mid. Okay, so this is where you are right now. Come in here. Okay, start running into this space here. Because if she gets beat, then she's in, right? They should be coming over, and I think They kind of do here, but again, try to start getting back. And, you're also a passing option if Denise does win the ball like she ended up doing there. So good header there. But you got to play the ball, right? So it's, so we're going to go back, touch, play it, right? So you're waiting for that ball to settle, and it's not going to. You've taken your header to knock the ball down, even if it's bouncing, just play it into the space, right? I don't know who that is there, if it's Morgan, whoever it is, just play that ball, right? Just tap it that way. And if you tap it and it goes out of bounds, I don't care, right? I don't want this to happen. Now they're out. Again, they're out and they're playing down the field, and right away they're getting an attacking chance. Well done getting in there. Yeah, just keep coming back, right? Get wide, right? Get wide there. And dropping back and diagonal is the easier way to do it in that situation, but again, easier said than done sometimes. So on throws, you're back there. Okay. You got here. Good. And again, look at the space. Look at this space that you had here. Okay, I want you coming down. You have space. I know you don't really play in the wing a lot, but I want you to go. You can run fast, so I want you to go. Right, we're popping a ball in here, and then they're just clearing it out. Okay, they were pretty tight in the back, and their back four. Yeah. And again, well done, just closing them down, but just get back into play, right? Don't just continue to stay out there. Get back into play. They drop back a little bit. Be helpful. Yeah, and I don't mind that there, right? I don't mind that. I know that it ended up going to one of their defenders, but I don't mind you putting that ball up. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. And obviously, you're looking pretty tired at that point. And this was a tough game in that regard. Obviously, we didn't have the subs, so it's understandable. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna show you there. See, Denise going to play your ball. Again, you're rifling it back in the middle. Right now, good run here. Okay, so not so good with the just rifling the ball back into the middle there, but good run here, and this should have been a pass to you. Right, that should have been a pass to you. I don't know if you called for it or not. I can't really tell. Yeah. It looks like you're back in the middle. Yeah, so this is I think we're in the second half now. There. Yeah, good. So he made a great pass, and then Kaylee just kind of swung at it, right? It's something that I'm dealing with her on. And she made up for it. She won getting the ball down in there, but still, again, she had time to take a touch, and she should have done so. So what I want you to start to focus on when we have these throw-ins is, you're going to be outnumbered a lot of the times in the middle, but can you find that like central space in between them, right? Rather than standing right with these players on the other team, can you find the spaces in between? So obviously the referee's kind of in there right now, but that would have been ideal. What you want is to set up a situation not only for you to have space to receive and be able to take a touch or turn or pass before you got somebody on you, but you're also then going to create a bit of confusion for any of these players as to whose job it is to go after you, right? You could have a couple situations where, they're all looking at each other to react and they don't. you could have a situation where two players come in at once and then there's space for you to pass that ball into from where they just left. So a couple different scenarios, but try to avoid staying with players, and I need you checking your shoulders a lot. Okay? Yeah, and I want to say you did an excellent job not jumping, and I think that you maybe had one incident that I can recall, but nothing bad, right? You slowed down the play quite a bit. Veronica did a really good job with it as well, and Natalia. So you guys, like center mids wise, you did very well with that. Yeah, and see again, good space to be in, right? Because you were in that space and good pass, and that's where we needed a quicker pass here from Tux Morgan, I think. But yeah, well done on that play. Yeah, so that was Veronica there maybe being up a little bit too high. She didn't need to come into that space there, right? She was playing out the defensive. So don't just jog back, right? This should be running back in here to get to help out, okay? Okay, you need to run back on those. This is a corner. I don't know if that was a big play there or not, it's hard to tell. Yeah, I think you may have got a foot on it there. Yeah, and they were offside. Yeah, so be an option, right? Don't come closer, right? Don't be coming too close. Again, drop back into this space. Even if Izzy wins that ball, you need to be there to receive a pass and be in space, okay? So there's a mistake there by Veronica. That's the kind of jumping in that kills us, all right? And especially in the middle, that absolutely kills us because now look at this. She's off to the races. And our defense is dropping back a little too quickly, right? And trying to work with them on that. They're going back too fast on that, and it's allowing those players to have a lot of space. But again, that jump in there on Veronica. If you're in the center defensive mid position, remember, delay. They delay them. So, again, get back into the space here, right? Make sure you're into the space. You're sometimes going towards where the ball is, and it ends up being a 5-yard pass. And then, of course, they're on you right away. Good to come back, right? Good to come back there, but yeah, and that's okay. You were there to win the ball. The girl got on you right away. Yeah, see, look, just by you being there, like you didn't touch the ball there, I don't think, but just by you being there, it didn't allow this player to take an easy touch, right? She wasn't able to get control of it, and it went over her, okay? That's why I need you guys to be there. And yeah, good, right? Good pass. And then I see it, look, that would have been great. If they had to play the ball to you there, that would have been great. So well done on both fronts, okay? And look at that. There we go. Coming back and helping. Excellent. Right. Again, quicker passes here, right, from this. I think that's Sam there. Right. We think we have all the time in the world. We really don't. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe they're a little bit closer to those numbers in that space would have been better. But so when you're in those situations, okay, so obviously the balls come in here. Don't run to the player, run in front of the player, okay? Because they're going to turn likely and go that way. If they turn back and pass here, that's fine. We don't mind them doing that, right? Don't run to them because then they're just going to go past you. And I don't know what's going on there defensively, just kind of out for lunch. Yeah, and well done. Look, so you jockeyed there, you didn't jump in, and this girl gave the ball away. Right? The proof is there that when you're doing things the right way, it's making a huge difference. Okay. Nothing you could have done there. Again, our kicks out of the back there were not quite what we wanted them to be. So Lauren kind of struggled a little bit with those. Yeah, so nothing you could have done there. But I like, again, I see your positioning. Look at this, right? Look at this. Fantastic. Yeah, and that girl kind of came in leveled you here. Now, I think this is where, yeah, you actually end up drawing the foul because they just grabbed onto you, right? So that was good. Don't know where you are. So you're, you're in there somewhere. All right. Yeah, again, good, right? Win those balls, man. Win those balls. Be an option, right? Be an option, right? We're kind of floating there. Yeah, so this is where, too, I'm looking for, so you went in for the throw-in, that's fine, but I'm looking for Izzy there to maybe start dropping back into space and be an option for you to pass. She didn't really move a lot there. All right, so let's watch maybe one more significant play here. Yeah. So that, again, I know you guys were tired, so I don't expect a lot. Now, that was a good jockeying situation. Yes, she got the ball away, but that's more than enough time. Yeah, it's a disaster. That was more than enough time for the defense to have to adjust and see that player that was running down the wing. Okay? If you do that, if you hold them up for a few seconds and they make the pass and somehow the defense is still not in position or able to deal with it, then it's not your fault. Okay? You did your job. Yeah, and look at this pressure you were putting on. Again, good idea, right? Good idea. They're not always going to work out, but good idea there. You play the ball in. That forward needs to be ready to run. Right? I think if that had been Cora in that situation, quite possibly, she goes in and gets a shot. Yeah. And that's it. Just play it. Just get a little control touch and then play it forward. Let's get this ball down into their end when we're being pressured like that. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can find, I know there was one other play later on in the game. It should have detected it. I kind of remember where it was in the field, so see if I can find this. So here, right, play this ball, right? Good. Didn't kind of cut you off there. Yeah, well done, right? Again, even if you didn't win the ball there, but look at all our players that just got back, right? Look at all those players that just got back and stuck with the play, right? So well done. That's what I need from you in there, defensively. Okay, looking, they got nothing out of it. Right? They got nothing out of it. You delayed them enough to have that time. Okay, and again, you're in a good position here, but unfortunately, that player, Izzy or whoever it was, did not make the pass when they should have. Good. Again, positionally where you need to be. but you got to pass that ball. Okay, that's the one I was actually looking for there. Is you've got to pass that ball. Now, again, it's a case of it's not always on you in those situations, right? My questions, if I'm doing a classroom session there, would be, Sam, did you call to Amica for that ball? Okay, so Amica, were you aware that Sam was there? Sam, did you call to Amica? All right. The other players have responsibility, right? I think you did hear, I don't know if you did hear or not, but there were some calls to move the ball, right? To pass the ball or move the ball, but still not really enough direction, right? If somebody says, look back to Sam, or Sam says, Amika, yeah, and then you know where to go with it right away, right? So again, when you get that ball, especially when we're kind of in our half around the middle or like the center of the field, just understand pressure is immediate. So it's got to be an immediate, quick decision. And that comes from also having awareness, right? Continuously checking your shoulders, understanding who's there, space, like what's around you, where your first touch should go into. Okay, those kind of things. All right. Anyways, really good job the other day, especially with it being, uh, a hot night, not having subs. I think you played the majority of the game. Um, so well done, and continue to do what you're doing because you are improving every week playing at that position. And we do have the confidence in you to go, you know what, let's play Amika on the mid, like on the outside if we need to. All right. So well done. And yeah, we'll work together with the other mids this week, try to figure out a few things so that everybody's clear and on the same page, right? Cassie should be back, and communication between the four of you, right, at all times needs to be at its best. Okay, you guys need to be talking to each other. All right, I think Cassie has done a great job of it. Right, you're doing a great job of it for the most part. Um, Natalia needs to improve. Right, even Veronica needs to improve on that. So you can help those girls with that by doing it as well, and even being out in the field and just saying, "Hey, yell to me, call to me," right? Encouraging them to speak to you when you're out there. Okay. Anyways, if you have any questions about it, you're more than welcome to uh, send me a message, okay? Or, yeah, we can talk about it at practice, okay? But if you do have a question about a specific moment in the game or any game for that matter, give me the timestamp, okay? Give me the timestamp and then I can look at it and go, yeah, this is what would have been the option, or hey, there's nothing you could have done there, whatever, okay? All right, Mika, have a great day and we'll see you soon.